Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fleabag Full of Grace, where one of us will be doing a Fleabag rewatch while the other person will be watching it for the first time. I'm Mariquita from Post-Film Clarity, and this is my third Fleabag rewatch.
And my name is Anna of Stone's Top Tens, and I've never seen Fleabag. We are two friends who each have our own movie podcasts and decided to do a limited television series together, landing on Fleabag. In each episode, we will break down an episode of Fleabag, discussing the themes, scenes, and what stands out to us.
We will cover one Fleabag episode per pod, which means 12 total pods released weekly on Thursdays. You can follow us on socials at postfilmclaritypod and Stone's Top Tens. You can email us at either address at gmail.com.
If you're enjoying our content, feel free to check out our respective podcasts of Post Film Clarity and Stone's Top Tens wherever you listen to your pods. Let's get started.
In the season 1 finale, Godmother's sexhibition has arrived. Arsehole Guy makes his exit, while Harry makes a surprising return. Claire shows up with Martin, causing Fleabag to get belligerently drunk and make quite the scene. During an argument, Claire reveals Fleabag's deepest, darkest shame, and we find out the true circumstance of Boo's death. Oh, Anna. I know. Look at that face. This was a hard episode, wasn't it?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really, and I think part of the problem is that after last week, I knew a little bit going in, and I was just like, I was nervous to
Yeah.
watch,
You're like
and
dreading it.
yeah, and it was it was really hard to see everyone kind of give up on her. Is how it felt. It wasn't just like them all leaving her or like, not wanting to be around her. It truly felt like they were giving up on her. And throughout the entire episode, we see it with, I mean, the godmother was never on her side, but the
Mm-hmm.
absolutely dismissive and condescending nature that she handles her interactions with Fleabag this entire episode.
She treated her literally like the help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
And then you see her dad side with the godmother. You see Arsehole Guy reveal that he's not in love with her.
Mm-mm.
You see Harry has moved on.
Yep.
And the hardest one for me was Claire.
Yeah.
That scene with Claire when you see her giving up on Fleabag was devastating to
Yeah.
watch.
It's
Um
heartbreaking.
and with Martin right there being like, I'm going to let this sister relationship fall apart because I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was
That like
brutal.
smug satisfaction too, while he's like standing behind Claire, like smirking at Fleabag, like, yeah, you fucking bitch. Like, haha, I got you. Ugh.
Like, of course, she's not going to believe you after what happened with Boo. And that whole scene
Horrible.
was, the music was so unsettling. And the way that it like is flashing, you can just feel Fleabag's panic. Like
Mm-hmm.
as she's, backing up, she's essentially like backed into a corner
Mm-hmm.
and she is in such a panic with this conversation and all the memories coming back of what happened with
Mm-hmm.
Boo. That was really, really hard to watch.
Yeah, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but there's some great, I don't want to say great, but there's some really just impactful looks at the camera, looks at the audience during that whole
Mm-hmm.
sequence. I'll talk more about them later, but yeah, once you finally get that big reveal of what she did to Boo and
Mm-hmm.
that horrific guilt she's been carrying around for, this whole time, trying to grieve through this loss and also feel like she's responsible for it. It oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, it's such good writing, and it just makes it that much more textured, and it makes the whole season That's why I was saying, like, give it a chance, like, let it
Yeah.
kind of you have to kind of take it all in
Mhm.
once you get that reveal, and then I think it just really bumps up the quality of the show and the depth and the richness of all of the relationships we've gotten glimpses of throughout this first season because you get to that end and you just think like, "Oh, they're best friends. Oh my god, they're inseparable. Like what could go
Mhm.
wrong?" And then you see what what she did and you're like, "Jesus Christ, girl." The one person who really cared and was, like, always there for you. Like, a person who would never, ever do that to you. Ugh.
Well, and not just what she did to Boo, but also what it's done to her. Um,
Mhm,
and I'm kind of jumping around here, but like another part that really stuck with me was the the imagery of her standing on the sidewalk being intercut with Boo doing the same thing. And it's so tense because you're worried that she's going to do it.
mhm.
And then the car pulls over and who is it but bank manager? And I was like, "I'm sorry,
My
what?"
guy.
But also like, he's so gentle. He brings her back to the cafe. He's, he can tell that she's upset and he was like he's looking around. He's like, "Oh, huh. I thought it was a cafe for guinea pigs." And like
He immediately, like, relates to her and, like, tries to be, humorous with her and kind of sets her at ease. Yeah, it's the perfect that's why I think I love now that I remember the end of this first season, I think that's why I love the retreat episode so much when we get
mhm.
that seed planted with bank manager. I had kind of forgotten that he's the reason she doesn't end her life, you know?
Yes.
Um, when that car pulls up, I'm like, "Wait a minute, who is this again? Is it her father? Like, who comes and gets her?" I knew someone came and got her, but I didn't remember, and then I see the bank manager, and I'm like, "That's why I love him so much." Like,
Yes.
he saves her life, just that little connection, that interaction at the retreat, like, put something in motion where, like, A, he recognized her, and
Mhm.
B, he saved her life, like, he knew who she was and what she needed in that moment, and that little heart to heart that you were trying to write off.
Well, and also like, he recognizes that she's in distress. And he I was so worried for a second when he walked out because I was like, "Oh no, like do not leave her alone. Like I know this is uncomfortable, like this is an uncomfortable situation to be in, but like please do not leave her alone."
Mhm.
And then when he comes back in with that little bit of hope and he's just like, "Everybody makes mistakes." And he starts her loan application interview over again. And it's just, when you see him in the first episode, you're like, "This guy sucks.
Mhm.
He sucks." And then even, like, at the retreat, the fact that he's there made me a little, like, questionable of
Yeah,
him.
you're
But
like,
then we get that
what is up with this guy?"
beautiful conversation about how he just wants to, like, be a better person.
Mhm.
And this was like,
Then he did it.
yes, then he
He did it.
was. He was a better person. And I thought that was beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, oh, it's so good. Yeah, this episode is really hard to watch. There was just, like, a very specific time in my life where I think I told you I had related to Fleabag, like, lot. I wanna say this is 2016? Oh my god, yeah, it was the same year. That's why I had never seen the show, I was too busy crashing and burning in real life. So the same year that season 1 of Fleabag aired, I was in a very, very similar place, as where she is in this episode. I how do I say this? So I lost one of my best friends, very suddenly. She was 38 years old, and we were coworkers, and we started out as coworkers, but we had developed, like, a close relationship outside of work. Um, and then she died in our parking lot at 38 years old
Oh.
and sat there all night because no one even, like, bothered to look. Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, Marquita.
So her husband found her, the next morning, and then they made us stay at work. They told us what had happened, and then I mean, basically they didn't lock us in the building, but they basically wouldn't let us leave. They're like, "Here's what happened. You can't go out there while they're getting, cleaning, whatever." So they locked us at work and were basically like, "Well, just stay here and talk, and we'll have a grief counselor come in." And they made us like work all day while my friend's dead body is in the parking lot. And
Oh, no.
I'm like 20, I don't know, 27 at the time, something like that. And I was just like, oh, I had to call my friend and tell him what happened. I'm sitting at my desk just sobbing for hours and hours and hours. And then I finally get to like go home, and I didn't even go home. I went to the bar, and I stayed at that bar for the better part of probably 3 days. And and I just like I didn't know what to do. Like I just didn't know what to do. You know,
Mhm.
it's and I felt like when Fleabag was having those like very public moments of like her emotional outbursts and just like being so like drunk and sloppy and obviously like in pain, and everyone in the room is just standing there staring at her and doing nothing, and like no one's helping her, like that was me for like an entire summer. I was just going around like that for months, just a wreck, and I felt like no one was helping me. Like no one
Mhm.
was. I don't know if I wasn't in a place where I was receiving help or could have received the help, or if I was letting on how bothered I was by everything. But it was just everywhere I went and felt like everybody was staring at me, but also
Mhm.
not doing what the bank manager did. I had like
Right.
one or two people who were finally like, "Oh, she's like not okay. We should do something." I was living on my floor for like a month. I wasn't eating. I was just like, I had to keep going to the place where she died every day. I had to walk past it every single day. Yeah, and it just really, this episode is very like triggering, but also it's like kind of cathartic to see, like,
Mhm.
because it does quote unquote get better, but it just really reminded me of how just where I was at that time, and
Yeah.
just not feeling like people were really dealing with it properly or wanted to deal with it at all. And I was like, sorry, I'm fucking messy in public. What else am I supposed to do? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? You don't go through shit? Like, mm,
Yeah.
am I the only one? Am I supposed to be a robot about this? Like, it was really fucked up. It was just a bad time in my life. Yeah, so that's where I was at during this episode.
Okay, first of all, I'm really sorry that that happened to you.
Yeah, thanks.
That's atrocious.
Mhm.
Um,
It
and
was really bad.
I can obviously not 100% relate, but like that idea of I feel like as Americans, we are very as like obnoxious as we are very reserved when it comes to like real emotion. Like
Yes.
so like this idea that like you're like what has have none of you experienced, like have none of you felt this shit, and like but
Am
we
I the only
don't
one
like
who's, like, fucking suffering and, like,
right, but like
drowning?
as a culture, we don't acknowledge that. Like, you grieve, you're supposed to be stoic in your grief, you're supposed to be stoic in your happiness, you're supposed to be stoic in whatever you're feeling, because for some reason, maybe it goes back to our waspy roots,
Mm.
it's, like, frowned upon in the United States to
To have
express your
emotions.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so true. Yeah, maybe that it's just, like, this weird disconnect of, like, you can see the person. Like I said, I was a mess for months, but I would be, like, out at the bar, like, just standing next to a stranger, like, just crying, and people would just let me people would just let me do it, like, no one was like, "Hey, let's get you out of here, let's walk you home, you okay?" Like, not
Like,
no
"Let's
one,
talk
but
about this. Let's see that you're okay. Like, what can we do? Obviously, you're going through something." Like, I feel like
everyone was just,
in
like, blinders on, just she'll stop
yes,
eventually, and I'm just gonna ignore it, pretend it's not happening. I'm like,
I feel like that's a
"Why?"
huge problem in our society is that we are much more likely to look away
Uh-huh.
because it makes us uncomfortable
Mhm.
than to try and do something about it. And that I'm just really sorry that that was your experience because uh, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't
Right.
be.
Yeah.
And your your work should be ashamed that they made you guys stay there. That's messed up.
Oh my god, I quit. It took me, I think, because I was, like, so depressed and in such shock, it did take me about, like, 8 months before I was like, "Oh, I'm quitting this motherfucking job, like, I can't work here. What are we doing?" Like, I could not believe it took me, like, that long to, like, snap out of it, you know? It was just such a kick to the face, and I think a lot of people's reactions to it in my hometown, mind you, were just so revealing to me and so disappointing, ultimately. Not everybody,
Yeah.
but most people were just like, "Ugh, get her away from me," or like, "Oh, this is weird," or just straight up not acknowledging it at all, and I'm like, I'm a person, like, I'm hurt.
Uh,
I'm fucking devastated, like, what is wrong with you? Like, yes, there's something wrong with me, but, like, what's wrong with you that you
uh,
don't wanna be here in this with me, I guess, and it's just so hard to watch everyone in that scene do the same thing to Fleabag. It's like, no one was like, "Hey, let's get you outside. Are you okay?" No one?
well, and like especially the fact that,
Her
you know,
own father? Her
but like
sister? Oh, man.
Claire had been on her side. Like Claire had been trying.
Mhm.
And to see her not only like turn her back on Fleabag, but also to do it in favor of Martin.
Ugh.
It's the same thing with like her dad. You know, she has that moment with her dad down by the car.
Yep,
And
and you think like,
I,
"Alright, here we go, here's the olive
yes,
branch."
yes, you know, they're having the conversation. He's actually willing to talk about their mom. He's talking about, you know, how much he misses her after like he in front of everybody at the exhibition was like, I deserve to be happy and I deserve to move on.
Yeah.
And like that is valid as
Mhm,
well.
for sure.
But like for him to be like, yes, I think of your mom like all the time. She would have loved what you just did in there. Like that would have been perfect for her. And he's
Mhm.
like, you know, do you think about your friend? And she's like, all the time. And they're having this moment together. And then it's almost like a horror movie. You just see like the outline of Godmother in the background and his face change. And then he's just like, I wish he had said whatever he was going to say beforehand, before he saw her,
Mhm.
because they were having a moment. But then he just goes, I think you should go. And it's just gut-wrenching
Yeah.
because they were so close. They were so close to having a genuine moment and maybe helping her, and
He's like,
he doesn't.
"Nope, actually, you gotta go, cause I don't want my girlfriend to be mad at me." Like, are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah, her father really pisses me off this episode, maybe even more so than Claire. I don't know. They both piss me off, but I think he's even less justified in it, I feel. Like, he's just, like, not there for her at all, like, as a parent, as a friend. He's just like, "You're on your own, fuck it." And then she spends the rest of the episode literally just wandering and
Mhm.
a wreck, and no one checks on her
Right.
except a stranger.
Mhm.
It's yeah, it's hard. This episode is rough.
Yes, it was. Okay, we are gonna left turn out of the sadness a little bit and into some behind the scenes. So what lore do you have for me today, Marquita?
Yes. So today, I think just because we haven't talked about her a lot yet as an actress, I wanted to focus on Jenny Rainsford, who plays Boo.
Mm.
She beautifully portrays Boo on season 1 and 2 of Fleabag, and she has also acted with Olivia Colman in The Favorite right after this. She before Fleabag, she was, of course, Law& and Order UK. Um,
I didn't know that was a thing.
Me neither. I was like, "Oh, wow, they have the same, like, ladder to"
Does it have
to
the same like dun dun?
oh my god, I did forget to look up the music, I need to. It might even be the same music, I don't know, but yes, there is a Law& and Order UK, and she did the classic, like, dead body or whatever on Law& and
Yeah.
Order or something like that. I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know the Brits had that too, it's incredible." She was also in, Prometheus in 2012 and About Time in 2013, and she has an English degree from Oxford.
How posh.
Yeah, she hasn't really done a lot since the show, but she's still an active, TV, like, guest star.
I'm surprised because she is like for how little she's actually in this, she is dynamic.
Me too. I was shocked when I looked at her credits. There's just kind of a lot of everyday British TV, like, from here on out. I was like, where the fuck is she? Like, what has she been
Yeah.
doing? Very surprising career. I think she should have been a way, way bigger star. I don't know if maybe that's just not what she wanted or she wasn't getting the parts. I don't know, but I just wanted to shout out Jenny Rainsford for her portrayal of Boo. She's
Mhm.
pitch perfect this whole season and just a beautiful, beautiful actress who brought so much to this role and to this show.
She makes her so human.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Especially this episode, but all of them. So moving on to the next category, what was the best fourth wall break this episode for you?
Okay. When she runs into Harry, at the, like, statue of him
Uh-huh.
that Godmother made, supposedly with her permission,
With her
uh,
imaginary permission, yeah.
yeah, and then Harry's girlfriend comes over and is, like, very proprietary, and she's, like, very much marking her territory.
Uh-huh.
And she, like, doesn't actually introduce herself, and I thought this was so funny because it's, like, another way that we don't get to find out Fleabag's name in an
Mhm.
instance where it would, like, make total sense to find out Fleabag's name, but they work around it with this, like,
Mhm.
awkward interaction where
Mhm.
she's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go over there," and as she walks away, he's like, "That's Elaine," and she, like, turns the camera on, she's like, "Elaine," and it
Yeah.
just I don't know why in an episode that was not very funny, that
Yeah.
part was very funny to me.
Yeah, we did not focus on the the few comedic moments there were this episode, but her interaction with Harry was definitely one of them, and I think it was also, like, profound. It was like she I think it was kind of, like, humiliating for her, but
Oh, for sure.
she needed it. She needed it. She needed
But
to
I also
see,
think
like,
it, like, it
he's moved on.
compounded what was already happening with, like, with her dad, with her sister, with Arsehole Guy, like,
Yeah.
it was just like, "Okay, my safety net, no longer my safety net." And,
Yeah.
like, it shouldn't be. A person should not be your relationship safety net.
Mhm.
That's a terrible thing to do to another human.
Exactly, and it's not fair to
Um,
him either, and he
no.
finally, like, stood up to her. It was just such a it's just such an inopportune, time for all of those things to kind of all those
Yes.
chickens to come to roost for her, but I think as hard as it was to watch and as hard as it was for her to go through, some of those interactions she definitely needed to have, and Harry was one of them. Also, I think Arsehole Guy, he his breakup was pretty smooth. He was like, "Hey, listen, it ain't you, but it's somebody." You
That
know?
was brutal. I'm sorry. To be like, "I'm in love. I am in love. I gotta tell her." And
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
not with
like,
you. Not you. 'Cause you're cool, right? See, that's what happened. She cool girled too close to the sun. And he
mm,
thought like, "Oh, she doesn't care about me. She's not gonna care at all that I, like, don't give a shit about her and that I'm in love with somebody else." I think she wasn't expecting that either, yeah.
correct. That was
But
tough too.
yeah, rough stuff.
What was your best fourth wall break?
Um, it's again not a funny one. It was when Claire finally outs her for sleeping with Boo's boyfriend, and she looks at us, she looks at the camera and tries to run away and, like, hide from her shame, from the embarrassment. You can just see, like, the tears welling up, and she's, like, trying to cover her face and, like, turn her head away and, like, not look at us because she doesn't wanna
Mhm.
face what she's done. I just thought it was so beautiful, like, such great camera work and such great
Yes.
acting from Phoebe. Um, it really felt like she was too embarrassed to look at us. And it makes the
Mhm.
whole fourth wall conceit of the season of the series make a lot more sense too, I think. It ties it all together really nicely when you feel that shame um with her and have to watch her like sit with it and literally face us while Claire's confronting her with what she did.
Mhm.
Yeah. What I didn't know if we were gonna have yeah. I was like, I had a feeling we were gonna have the same favorite dialogue. So
There's one that's the same. Um,
Oh, only one. Okay, I'm
only one.
surprised.
Only
Okay.
one. So what do you have?
Oh, okay, yeah. When speaking of arsehole guy breaking up with her, when Fleabag thinks that he's about to like tell her how in love he is with her and how he can't live without her. And she's like looking at us and talking, and she's like, the blood rushes from their dick to their heart. I thought that was really funny. She's like, oh no, he's like so obsessed with me.
He can't even
Yeah.
concentrate,
He can't even
like
concentrate. I was like, oh honey, no, he doesn't care. And then my other one was, um, and again, this is what I was saying earlier about when I was going through this as well. When she says to the bank manager, either everyone feels like this a little bit and they're just not talking about it, or I'm completely fucking alone, which isn't funny. Um, and
yes.
it's just so vulnerable. And yeah, she just feels like how I did, where it's like, why is no one saying anything? Like, why are we not talking about this? Uh, do, she's trying to reach out to anybody to have that interaction, and they're just like, no, nope, nope, nope. And I think especially in British culture too, that's like a big
Mm,
taboo, like stiff upper lip thing. And she's just like,
yeah.
I don't want to be like that. I don't want to do that.
Well, a reoccurring theme we've had this entire season is like how alone Fleabag is.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea that, like, okay, if no one else is feeling this way, even a little bit, if no one else is feeling this worthless and this pointless, then, like, I'm really messed up and I don't know
Mhm.
if I can come back from that.
Right.
And I thought that was, like you said, vulnerable is a great word for it. That
Yeah.
was perfect.
Yeah. She finally, like, takes her wall down and her, like, snarkiness and her, like, sarcasm and all that, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'm
This is
sad,
it.
man. Yeah, like, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing
Yes.
well." Um,
Um, so I have one that's kind of funny, which was when she's at this exhibition and she's trying to find Claire, and she like asks some random person, she's like, "Have you seen a sort of stressed out version of me around?" And I thought that was so funny.
what a
Like,
great description of Claire. Yeah.
no physical descriptor at all.
No.
Just like, "Have you seen a version of me but stressed?" Which like I feel like if someone were to do that for me, they'd be like, "Have you seen someone who looks like me but like sad?" Like or anxious.
Yes. Have you seen me but nervous? Yeah. I think mine it depends on the day for me, but I think mine would be like, have you seen someone who's like me but aloof? It's
See,
like,
I don't think you're aloof, but I could see
oh,
how,
ow.
like, to a stranger, that could be the impression.
I very much am. When I don't like people or when I'm like tired or don't want to be somewhere, I'm just like,
Is it
what do you
because you
want from
have the
me?
advantage of being able to just, like, look over the top of people?
Yeah, that's probably part of it. I can just be like tall girl in the corner, just like staring at everybody and like, yeah, whatever.
Because, like, I can't pretend I don't see someone because everybody is, like, chest level. Like, I'm just at chest level.
Aw.
So my view is just blocked at all times. Um, okay, another one that I have is one that we both had, which is when, um, Boo says it and then Fleabag repeats it, and it's along the lines of, erasers are on pencils because people make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I thought this was that scene, that flashback of Boo talking about the boy who violated the guinea pigs.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it just shows like, okay, it was I don't even know how I'm so excited about this. This
Mhm.
idea that like we spend this episode looking for someone to help Fleabag.
Yeah.
And all Boo said in that moment is like, why are they putting this kid in juvie? Like, he
He
obviously needs
needs
help.
help.
That's not a normal thing to do.
He needs help.
And like that is her instinct when to so many people in society, that is not the instinct. The instinct is to just put them away so we don't have to deal with them.
Throw him in jail.
Um,
Yeah.
and that in this episode, that's what Fleabag needs most, right? Is for someone to look at her and be like, not, I need you to go away, or I don't want to deal with this, but you obviously need help, so I'm going to help. So I just saw that whole flashback, and then the fact that, the bank manager says people make mistakes
Yeah.
after she, confesses what she did. Um, and then he brings back her second chance. I just thought that was so beautiful and simple, right? That's something that people throw around all the time. Oh yeah, people make
Y-
mistakes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
throw that around like no big deal.
It's something that you would say to like, like a fifth of sorry, not a fifth grade. Well, yeah, fifth grader, but like I was gonna say a 5-year-old. It's like, yeah, people make mistakes. Like it's fine. That's why you got an eraser. Like when someone's learning how to write, you would say
Yes.
that. But it never stops being true. We just start forgetting it.
Oh, beautiful. Say that again.
It never stops being true, but I feel like we start to forget it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Um, and the last one I maybe felt a little personally is like
Oh,
when she's talking to her dad
yeah.
and they're talking about being sad and he says like, you aren't born sad. And she's like, well, some people are. And he goes, you weren't born sad.
You weren't.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I I don't know if I'll keep this in, but like I guess
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like that's kind of how my parents feel about me, where like I probably wasn't that sad as a kid, and I'm pretty
Aw.
sad as an adult. And,
And they look
like,
at you now and they're like, "Girly."
you weren't born sad.
Yeah.
Um, so that got me a little choked up.
Yeah. It's hard to God, that's hard to hear sometimes. I think, yeah, that version for me would be like, you weren't born angry. Ugh.
Mm,
It's like, damn, you're right. I mean, I don't know, I was a pretty spicy kid, but I wasn't like born angry. I think it just became that way and then spent a lot of years like undoing, and like
mhm,
refocusing, like channeling that anger into like more productive endeavors for sure. But
yeah,
it's hard. Like it's hard. Life, so much shit happens to you that you're just like, "Ugh, I guess it's just how I am now." Like unless
yeah,
I'm consciously and like actively choosing to change and wanting to change, like
and
some
that's
people
hard
just
work.
yeah, and some people don't want to do that and they just
Mhm,
stay that way.
yeah.
I don't know. I like that she do you feel like she's trying where do you think she's at? This leads us perfectly into predictions. Where do you think she's at the end of the season? Like, where do you think she's going?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with I think that she is heading into a place of healing from here. I am hoping that the bank manager, the meeting with the bank manager is gonna be a turning point for her, and she is going to start to heal. Listen, there better be a dang hot priest in this show because I was promised a hot priest. And we are halfway through this entire show, and there is nary a hot priest to be seen. Um, so if we don't get a hot priest next season, I'm going to be really upset. Now, my hopes and my dreams are that next season, the dad breaks up with the godmother. Claire leaves Martin and apologizes to Fleabag, and Fleabag smashes the figurine into the godmother's face.
Oh,
Now, do I necessarily
from
think those are going to happen? No. But I want them to. We didn't even talk about the fact that the stupid figurine, when she's like, the only piece missing
it
was
came back again.
was stolen from me. And I've decided to look at it as all the things that have been taken from women, and it's my most important piece yet. It's just a blank frickin' pedestal. No.
She's so annoying. Yeah, she's really on some like pretentious art bullshit in this. I mean, every episode, but yeah, that whole speech. And she's looking right at Fleabag while she's
Yes.
saying it. I'm like, you are such a bitch. Please. You don't have to do
Yes.
this right now. Like, it
She's the
doesn't,
worst.
she's the fucking worst. And she takes every opportunity she can to like embarrass Fleabag and to like belittle her, and I
At one
just
point, she's like, oh, way to hold on. Like, when she brings Arsehole Guy for a second time. And I'm like,
because she still can't be convinced that, like, Fleabag can have an attractive partner, like, who likes her. It's so oh, she's the fucking worst. She really
mhm.
by the end of the season, I'm just like, "Bitch, I hope you drop dead. I can't stand you."
I was really
S
glad I ran across an interview, like a radio interview with Olivia Colman, and she was like very charming. And I was like, still love you,
okay.
just not the godmother.
Oof. You're like, "You're perfect. Never change." But your
Right.
character, oh, she's the worst. I hate her. I love those predictions. I hope we get them. I hope we get some of these, if not all of them. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I know. From your lips to God's ears. Maybe it'll come up next season. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for season 1, and we will see you next week. Feel free to follow us on socials at postfilmclaritypod and Stone's Top Tens, all one word. You can email us at either address at gmail.com.
Next week, we will be looking at season 2, episode 1.
Ah, the premiere! Oh my god, I can't wait. Maybe, allegedly, there might be a hot priest in
There
that
better be
episode.
a hot priest. Better be a hot priest.